Okay, the recording started. Okay, we're back, everybody. It is
Wow.
almost like a week later and totally not like 2 seconds after we ended the recording.
Cannot prove it's true.
Exactly. I don't have a webcam on. And even
I
if
don't
I
either.
did, all the lights are out. You aren't seeing anything.
Damn, he turned off the dark.
So true, Spider-Man. So, we just finished off day 7, which was indoor music. So, if you wanted to listen to the first 7 days, you'll have to see the last video. But we are moving on to day 8, 8-bit music, and Radiant, you will be starting us off.
I will. Oh, I guess I will.
Yeah.
Okay then. Okay, so there's a lot. I played a lot of NES games. I don't know why. It's just kind of like a comfort pick. The games are simple enough that you can kind of just play without like needing too much information. But it's also can be challenging enough that makes you want to keep going. And this is one of those games. I chose Unbreakable Determination. It's a song that you tend to hear a lot because it's towards the end of the game. I believe it is. And the issue is that it's on 5-1.
Oh,
and
no.
if you die from any time from 5-2, 5-3, or 5-4, it doesn't start you from the game the level. It brings you back to 5-1. And so you hear the song again. And then you hear the song again. And then you hear the song again.
I remember hearing about that. I'm like, that is absolutely awful.
It is. But then this song plays and the title holds really well. You know, you gotta keep trying. You gotta have that strong ass determination to make it. And I love that so much.
I think that the original Ninja Gaiden trilogy have a really good OST. I love how like fast paced it feels. I think this game does a lot presentation wise that really makes it a good game.
Yeah, it's a very unique game, especially for the time. I'm not gonna say it's one of the first story games on the NES, but it's definitely one that had a big emphasis on it. With cutscenes that were made for, I think it's like after every chapter you would see a cutscene.
I think it's just about, including I think the opening. It does a lot of very cinematic things with those cutscenes, which I think is super important with that. It really made you feel like you were in a story, where some games just kind of like plop you in, read the manual. It was like, no, you load the game and you're in the story. We're going to tell you a story, which is neat. So, especially because you have all this build up from that, this song coming on is really good.
Yeah, it's a lot of frustration, but then you hear this song and then it's just like I'm not done yet. I have infinite continues. You cannot stop me. The game cannot beat me.
You physically cannot hurt me. I will make it eventually.
Exactly, and then you do, and then it's satisfying. Well, that is it for me. How about you?
So for me, I picked another NES song because when you think 8-bit music, you think NES songs. So this is something I found out about recently. Like, I've watched people play this game. I just never noticed this song in particular until now. This is Roving Tank from Earthbound Beginnings / Mother 1. So you get in a tank, and this song decides it's going to be an absolute banger. So if you look at my notes, I literally just say, okay, what a fucking slapper. I discovered this super recently, like a little before the list started, and I could not get over this. It hits this super high octane level that I'm not used to a lot of NES tracks really hitting. It feels very arcadey in a way. Like, the idea of hopping into a tank and then like going off and doing literally anything, it feels so right for that. I write here, there's a serious sense of power from this song. And it's just the constant beat. It feels so up-tempo. It feels like I should be playing an arcade game where you're supposed to fight off an entire army as like one guy. And I think that's amazing.
John Space Marine.
Exactly. You could have a Doom level with this song and I would be like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I played this game a bit. I play a lot of NES games, so I play this game a good bit. I've been, I think, like the first 2 or 3 bosses. And it's fun. It's about overall, I would say just an average NES RPG. There's a lot of RPGs on the NES. They all kind of blend up. Just kind of disappointing, but some of them are pretty unique. I didn't hear the song personally, but the soundtrack is really good from Earthbound's beginnings.
Yeah,
it's a good pick.
I was like kind of determining because I think I used Snowman last time when we first did this list because I really like that song. There's a lot of songs that I think on the NES, like even if they brought it over for like regular Earthbound for the SNES, I'm like, these still sound really good, and I think I accept them. That's like their own unique thing. That's really cool to listen to. I'm so fucking upset that this only is in one game. Like, I would love to hear this in more shit. Just throw it in random things. Where's my Smash Ultimate remix version of this song? This would fit so well. Okay, maybe not Smash Ultimate. Maybe like Brawl Remix, because the Brawl remixes are really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like, this was a song where it was like, I heard it and I went, yeah, I'm throwing this on the list. I don't give a shit. But that was my pick. Then we will leave day 8 behind. And we will move on to day 9, music arranged covers or remixed. So this one, you can technically consider it 2. So I picked a remix from here on YouTube, covered by Lachazar Dimitrov. I found this this channel recently. Older dude, he does covers of just about literally everything. Let me see, I wrote it down. It was like, he does like regular classical and orchestral pieces, does anime and game music. He does some Vocaloid tracks. Like, a lot of the stuff he makes are either versions that he made on his own, like the sheet music for. Others are brought in from other people. But this one is specifically his. If you look at the description, all he puts is homemade. And this is the surfing theme, the surfing theme from Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. I think what this version does, and what my other technical pick would have been, which is the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire remix version of this song, is they both encompass this idea of adventure and exploration that you get when you finally get to surf in the open ocean once you leave Lily Cove. Like, you can surf before then, sure, but when you finally go out to explore like the farther reaches of that open area of water, this is where it always flashes in my head. This Lachazar's version is very solo-y with the violin, but hearing the various kind of noises coming from the piano, the screeches, the movements, it feels so personal and impactful that I love it. The Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire version is also really good. It feels more orchestral and very grander, so you kind of get two versions depending on which one you want to listen to. But either way, I'm getting goosebumps from it.
Yeah, I do never listened to this man's work before, but it is, at least from what I hear from this song, it is pretty good. It gives me a lot of Tom Breyer vibes, and I absolutely love Tom Breyer.
Oh my god, yeah, I understand that. It feels so like, I think it's interesting to hear like a professional who's like not necessarily ingrained in what the game or like the specific medium is, but they're really smart at what they can play, and getting to see what they play around with just to see what works, the very free-flowy nature of it. It's cool to see those kinds of takes on songs you're familiar with. It's like you get an outsider who can really kind of bring something that you weren't expecting to.
Yeah, that was just one thing that I really loved about Tom Breyer, that he never played games, and it's just someone just hands him this piano sheet music, and he just play it as you see fit. And sometimes it plays kind of similar to how it would on the game. Other times it plays very differently, but it still plays off super well, just because it's their own like unique take on it, without having any prior knowledge of it beforehand. And I really like that.
Yeah, so I'm not going to play too much of this. I'm going to just probably put the link along with everything else in the description. But I would say not just check out this one. This man has done Toho remixes that are all bangers. Again, he's done a bunch of other themes. I love some of his Vocaloid tracks and some of his just regular orchestral or solo violin pieces. So I would super recommend that. I don't understand how this man has so few subscribers, considering the constant amount of content he puts out and how like top quality it all is.
Yeah, I actually just listened to his Snake Eater song video. It was also super good.
What other one? Let me see. Since we're on the topic of him, I wanna see if I can find another one that I thought was really good. Let me see.
I will subscribe to this man.
Oh, here's he does Rocket Waltz from TF2. That's a good one. That's a banger. But yeah, that's just I felt like this was the thing where I wanted to go. I need to put this in here. I gotta do it. I need to get the word out.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. I'm definitely subscribing to this man.
But I will leave it with that. Please subscribe to him. And we will move on to your choice for day 9.
So the last time we did this, I chose a song that was done from like a third party, like you just did.
Yeah.
So this time I tried to mix it. Decided. There we go. I decided to mix it up and choose a song that was done like officially. So this is a remake from Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. The song is called Adventure Zone, and I just love it so much. It's a song that starts off slow. You only hear the violins, and as the song starts to play, it goes up little by little, adding instruments, which does a really good job of kind of showing out the general gameplay where you start off as a boy, then you become a dragon, and then as you go on the game, you start unlocking different animal forms. So you can help explore the world. And I really love the general just remake that the composer does for this game.
Okay, so I've never heard of this game before, but
That's crazy.
this song is making my body move. I love the flow, the introduction of the instruments. It all sounds so nice.
So the game originally came out on the SMS, I believe, or on the Genesis. It was then remade around I think 2016 or so. What's really, really good about the remake was that it actually used the original source code.
Really?
Yeah, they've had to modernize it, obviously. But it used the original source code, so the game plays basically as a one-to-one to as it used to. And I love that part at like 129. It goes up and then it starts playing a little bit stronger than before.
Okay, I'm going back to it. I think this was one of those that I was like holding my mouth, just like.
I'm still listening to it now.
Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of that movement that I think is really nice. I'm looking at the game now on Steam. Oh my god, it's 60% off. I can't believe. Wait. I just realized.
Yeah.
I can go back. I can get the Dragon's Trap and OST bundle for less than $10.
Yeah, I think the game is worth it. It's a very fun 2D adventure game. I love it around 2 minutes or so. It once again picks up even more than before.
Oh yeah.
And I love when songs just keep adding instruments or just picks up in tempo. And yeah.
I think that's one thing that, like, for older games is a little harder to do. The dynamicism that you can see in a lot of sheet music and a lot of orchestral pieces is really cool to hear in video game music. Sometimes you might have it ramp up like that, like switching in a boss phase or in like a different area or something, if it's just using the same song in a different context. But just having the song itself do that is really neat.
Definitely. This was a pick that I'm just super happy with. Couldn't change a thing. Couldn't change the song. It had to be this. And I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Oh, very nice. So I guess we'll move on to day 10, water area music. And why don't you start us off?
So this is the second game choice that was a repeat. And this is the only song. This is a song that I just picked, and it had to be this one as well. This is Priestess Aria from Final Fantasy III, specifically the Pixel remaster. I think it does a really good job. So this technically isn't a water level, but you do. You go from an airship, you go down to a boat. You then help this woman you don't know anything about. She has an illness. You help her, and the whole time, once you find her, talk to her, and then you go to the next island, which is the next dungeon, you just hear this song playing, and I think this is super beautiful. I'd love a 38. Oh,
It's really pretty. I love the hold there at 40, 58, 59. Ugh, and then it flows right into the melody.
at 50. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, it's so good.
It's really good.
Technically a cheat because it's not a water level, but you talk to them near the water, and then you go to a water-themed dungeon, so I call it a water level.
It's a water area music, so I think that counts.
Mm-hmm. And it's just such a beautiful song.
Yeah. I think that's a very, very good pick. Oof.
I'm getting goosebumps.
All right, well, I guess I'll take the lead then. So
Good
my
luck.
pick, I was initially going to do Donkey Kong Country 1. And I was like, look, Aquatic Ambience is like the song that everyone thinks about. And I was like, A, that's too easy. B, I know later in the list there's an ambient music list. I might want to use it for that. I might not. I'll at least give my options openings. So instead, I went, well, I listened to the other Donkey Kong Country OST. So I thought, let me think about it back and go with something else. And I went with Lockjaw's Saga. I think this song in particular is like kind of the polar opposite to what I think about when I think of Aquatic Ambience. Aquatic Ambience, super like mellow, but like the synth kind of carries the song. This feels super like boppy, which I think is really cool for an aquatic-ish theme for a song. It's got this grand adventure feel to it that a lot of DKC2 kind of gives, which I think is neat. It's David Wise again, because he did DKC1, and then he did DKC2, and then he also did DKC3 specifically for the Game Boy Advance. He didn't do the SNES one. But there's just a good amount of adventure that's there. It feels like you're really kind of doing something, which is cool. It's got that, not the adventurous tone, not of it's a grand world to explore. It's you're on a grand adventure because you got some shit to do, which I think are two different kind of themes that you can get. And its uniqueness from a lot of other water levels that are definitely more slower, or if they're faster, are more about that open adventure. This feeling more contained as like an epic, I think is cool.
Yeah, I think it was a good choice to not just pick song from Donkey Kong Country 1, just for a different variety. But I mean, overall, I think it's a very nice song. So it's somewhat different take than what you would normally have from a water level vibe. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's a pretty short song, but I think David Wise we're going to be hearing him again, by the way, at least like one more or two more times. I think the shit he does with synths is fucking awesome. So that's why I was like, gonna pick this one here. And I guess I'll end it there, because the next one, I'm super curious about what you pick, but I'm going to have to start us off with Day 11, funny/hilarious music. So
Yeah.
I was trying to think of what am I thinking of for this? Like, funny, hilarious music. Am I thinking funny, haha? Am I thinking funny, hilarious as it makes me feel really happy and it's super peppy? So I thought I would go for something that's kind of like, it's kind of both. So this is the song Birthday Train from Guilty Gear Xrd. So I believe you can select this as a battle theme, but it's from it's one of the story songs. Um, I think opinion on this is people don't really want to listen to this like more than once every like few years. It's got this very like hokey, almost sitcom-y kind of thing for it, which I think for the scene it's used for makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, I love this song, almost ironically. It's such a fun song, but it's also really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also one of those things, like, it's OST-wise, it just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's almost completely different from the rest of the songs in the soundtrack.
Yeah, that was my initial comment. So when I think of Guilty Gear, I think of a very fast-paced fighting game. And then I hear this, and it's very different. And I kind of get, it's kind of weird. I get Daytona USA vibes from this song. Maybe it's just the lyrics. I can't describe why I get the vibes. I do. But I think it's really good.
I will say, as like another thing on top of that, I'm like, this sounds like a really fun karaoke song. And the only reason I have to say but is the fact there are some high notes in here that would murder your soul. But like, it's such a happy song. Like, you could just sing about it with like some friends, and it's just like, yeah, who gives a shit we were even singing? It's just keeps it going. It does have one of those things where it goes verse chorus, and then it does like the different style of verse for a third verse. And then it changes the chorus slightly near the end. I think a lot of songs in Exar kind of do that. Very traditional song structure. Where am I now? This is about 2 minutes in. It's going to go to that third verse, and it changes up slightly. Lyrically as well, just kind of funny. But like, there's emotion behind it, so I can't even laugh at it. I'm just like, you can tell what is being said, and then of course again, ooh, can I found you? The train can be either or not. Ooh, we can go anywhere. There is nothing left here to do. It's just perfect. No need to rush. Let's go by birthday train. Ugh. And then the ending here. Dun, dun. Oh, I love that part. It's so pretty. But it's so funny.
It's good. I like it a lot. Hearing it further reminds me of Baker Street for some reason, if you've heard that song.
I have. It's just been a while.
Yeah, it gives kind of the same vibes. So maybe just the back track that's doing it for me. I actually really like this song. Very different from what I expected, and I'm pretty happy with that.
I will say that is one of those things where like I feel like there are a lot of Guilty Gear songs that are kind of like that. Freesia is another song that I think I really like, but I think the ending kind of goes into that similar kind of cheesy-ish kind of thing, but it goes a little too far for me to like listening to it in the beginning, whereas like the first part is super pretty. I think this song is just great. I don't know. But I'll give the floor to you now. What do you have for day 11?
So when I thought of funny music, I was thinking of more of an indirect way of funny. And so I thought of Going Somewhere from Mario Party 2, because the song plays a lot in a lot of the games or mini games. And I just think it's super good, very energetic. It makes you like want to win.
I think you are extremely big brain. I think Mario Party music in general, like for any of the mini games, I think is always funny. I think that is an amazing pick.
Yeah, as I said, the reason I chose this because the song plays a lot, and it's probably the favorite one next to the. I forget what the song is called, or what the mini game was called, where you have to look away from certain directions.
Isn't it just look away?
Maybe, I'm stupid.
I don't remember.
I like the song a lot, and I thought it was very unique just to think about it more as a outside the box, just not funny because the song is funny, but funny because of the context of what's going on and, having a lot of fun playing with people.
That definitely makes sense. I think it's a good pick. And because of that, like you're already connecting it with something funny. It makes the song a bit more funny.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, like a lot of the mini games, especially ones where like it goes super over to the top, having just this super cheerful song in the background while everyone's struggling or doing something super weird or scary, it's like, no, it's really funny.
Yeah.
It's so improper for the situation, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of funny.
There's a couple of songs I could have picked from Mario Party 2, but I figured this one was the best one. That's about it. It's pretty simple.
All right, then let us move on to day 12. Music you hate or find awful, and you can give us our first start.
Okay, so this song is it's bad vibes, bad lyrics, bad everything. It's the first song you hear from Lammy called I Am Master and You. And it feels like it goes on for too long. It's supposed to be like a joke, like, haha, look at this idiot, he's dumb. But I feel like it just goes on for way too long, and I don't think the joke's particularly funny. It's not so much in the beginning part, it's more towards the middle part of the song. That really started to feel like the way it did. But even just like playing the song itself with the guitar feels very boring, because it's just like one or two notes you're playing per I guess input that you do, and it's just boring, bad vibes. Yeah, 37.
It felt like it was starting to break down there, like it was going somewhere, and then it hits the gong, and then we're back to the rhythm section, and it really kind of stops the song there.
It does. And like the lyrics just don't get any better, in my opinion. Which is an absolute shambles, because the next song is probably the second, it's probably the best song in the game, in my opinion. So like, every time I play this game, I don't even play this song. I just skip it.
Makes sense. Yeah. It feels like it's fighting for its life to have a good, like, song in there, and then it keeps having to revert back, and it can't breathe.
Yeah. Just for like this dumb joke of Chop Chop Onion Master being a washed up. And yeah, I can't listen to that song anymore. I don't like it.
All right, well, we'll move on to another song you're not gonna like. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna hit extremely close to home. We're going to the Dragon's Den from Pokemon Gold and Silver.
I like how you didn't. Never mind.
Nope. My
I
fucking
like how
ears.
the link you gave me starts at 32 seconds, which is really funny because there's literally no reason to start 32 seconds.
True. That's about as far as I got in the song. So, I didn't want to just like trash on this song, but it really does hurt my ears. But I kind of like it.
No.
But it's more like the idea. I like what they went for, but my masochism doesn't really make it sound any better. But I think my main problem is it sounds too beepy. Like, it's a Game Boy game, so it's gonna sound beepy, but I think they like tried to do too much with it, and it really just doesn't sound good. It sounds like a printer.
I feel like the second half of the song is better just because there's less things going on.
Yeah.
But it's still bad. Maybe it's also because we're probably listening to this on headphones versus hearing it from a speaker.
That's true.
So it's probably less assaulting on the speakers, but it's still a bad song.
But I will say, there's two good things about this. First, you barely hear the song, like at all. I think they knew it was that bad. So when you're in the Dragon's Den, half the time you're surfing. The other thing is, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, this song's actually really good.
True.
I'm gonna pull it up. What is this? Dragon's Den. It's really good. It hits. I think it does exactly what the original intent was. It has this super like traditionally sound to it. So that initial sound, instead of just hurting my ears, feels very impactful coming into the room.
Yeah.
And then it keeps this like rolling tempo going that always keeps your intrigue of where the song's gonna go, and then it lets the other instruments do things. I think it's much better.
Yeah, this is definitely a whole lot better.
Yeah, but I didn't want to like just be like, haha, this song sucks, I hate it here. I wanted to at least offer like, thankfully, this song is better. And I think it also shows where this song has its flaws. I feel like they wanted to do a lot with this. It was just, all right, I'm playing this on the equivalent of a colorful calculator. But
well, I'm glad I get to hear the better song.
But we'll move on to day 13. And I think it's very funny that earlier you mentioned Daytona USA. Because we're going to be listening to Daytona USA because
I chose that song. Well, not this song, just the other song.
You chose a different one. I wanted to make sure. I was like, wait a minute. Did he pick this one? And I went, no, he didn't. So there's a few different versions of this song. I bounced around a few of them. But I think this one, just the opening one, just like if you're in the arcade and it's just like you're waiting for people. It's short, but I love the vocals for this. Like, okay, Daytona, USA, Florida, it's kind of a bad place to be, and somewhere I wouldn't.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I was there for CEO. It was in the beach specifically, and it's just like, I don't know. It definitely like feels like its time kind of passed. But the moment I hear this song start, and I'm there yelling Daytona. No, this is sports game music, and technically, auto racing is a sport. So I want to clear that up. I definitely think as like a song that you would hear in the arcade, it's very catchy. It's like hearing this is going to drag your attention, especially that intro. And that's why I wanted to put it here. I was like, I think about this song, I think about this game, and this is the first thing I hear is that guy yelling Daytona. But
yeah, I was gonna pick this song on the last list, but decided to try to be a little bit different. It just shows in the other song, Sky High. Both songs are so good, though.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good soundtracks in this game. I was just like, I wanted to pick something where I felt the most connection to, and I was like, no, yeah, this is the one I literally think about just yelling.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my pick. It's kind of a short explanation, but it gets you excited. It kind of drags your attention, and then you want to hop in. Like, I want to drive now. I'm going to get in my car and drive. Gonna drive over 100, get a speeding ticket, hate my life, and then move on with my day. But yeah, that's my pick for day 13. What do you got?
So it kind of was a boring song in terms of like so many sports game songs I could have picked. One was probably the most boring one, but it's the one that I felt very related to. It's the Toad Highlands from Mario Golf 64. And it's a very simple song, but that's exactly why I like it. It's the first chorus that you play on, and it doesn't really try to be anything more than simple background music to let you focus on, especially because if it's the first track, it's usually going to be for people who are not as experienced versus the later tracks. And so it tries its best to be catchy, memorable, but still not be just in your face.
I think a lot of Mario sports do this thing where usually like they have like a Toad area, like they has something named after Toad, and it's super like pretty easy or super chill. And I think this is a very good one for like an opening kind of golf course.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few songs I thought of. The baseball game on the GameCube. It's a game I played a lot as a kid. I was thinking about picking some of the songs from those, but I was just like, no, like I think this just does it for me. Like I like that. And then around like 119, the instruments change up a bit, and it's good.
I think Mario Tennis could have been another pick for me. I remember playing a lot of N64 Mario Tennis, but I think this is a very good pick.
I personally didn't play a whole lot of tennis. I'm not a big fan of tennis games. I think they're kind of boring, but I don't know.
No, it makes sense. It's kind of hard to get engaging with it, but
Yeah.
I think the Mario ones at least are a pretty fun time.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, let
Oh,
us
that's
move on to day 14. So this is boss battle music. Why don't you start us off?
so. This game is called Blue Dragon. It's the most scuffed game in the universe. That's the easiest way to explain it. It's the song I chose is called Eternity. It does not fit anywhere in this game's soundtrack. The game was a JRPG on the Xbox 360 that is a fusion of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. The artist was still like Akira Toriyama, so like it wasn't like third rate, just like whatever, make it real quick. It was a full-fledged game. Came on 3 discs,
Holy crap.
but yeah, it was a full-on game. But it's so average and forgettable. It's like bleh. Like a lot of music in the game, very generic sounding. But this song specifically is so good. It does not fit anywhere in this game, but I love it. I love the lyrics are talking about like the boss is like trying to scare you, saying that you won't make it. And
it gives
I
me
don't know.
really good like 80s hard rock vibes.
Mm-hmm. Just up again and
I like this. I like this a lot.
yeah, it's super good.
Oh my god, and the shredding. Okay, this is a banger. Certified banger.
Certified banger.
Look, you gotta give me a hard guitar solo, and it's a certified banger.
So I thought this song, because it's very unique, it's a game that no one talks about, and for good reason, it's very boring. Yeah, I'll say it's boring, but it's like, it's very average. Very average game, which could be good, it could be bad. And I feel like it really shows it off if you were to listen towards the regular battle theme of this game. And you get the exact kind of vibe that I'm trying to describe to you.
This feels very like. Ooh, hold up. Ooh, and the guitars come in.
It's good, but also at the same time, it's like, how would you know, like, this is this song, right? Like, you listen to, like, Gen 1 battle theme, you know it's from that game. But, like, this could be just from any RPG.
I was gonna say it felt very mashup-y. It felt like we were mixing the like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and kind of put them in a blender, which I guess makes sense. But then the guitars came in and I started to vibe with it.
Yeah, it's a RPG that was meant for a more Western kind of vibe in general, but it's just so generic.
Because those always go so well.
It's like the plot is just a bunch of kids that don't want to just kind of be complacent. They want to like do stuff for the world, and it's not a bad game. Far from it, it's good. It's just average. Like, if you've played an RPG, I feel like you've played this game already.
Understandable.
But it's very unique just because it's a JRPG on 360, right? Like, that doesn't really happen a whole lot.
Oh yeah, that's like it's like surprise, once in a blue moon thing. Or I
And
guess
it's like a triple.
once in a blue dragon.
This is, I think it came out like 2007 or 8. Like, it's like a very early game on the 360.
I remember seeing the box for this game, but I didn't like think anything of it.
Yeah. And so, like, when you hear that and then you hear like this boss theme, you just like, you don't expect the two to like be from the same game. But yeah, I love the song because it's so just different.
Yeah, I think that song is a certified banger.
certified.
Well, then
But that is for me. How about you?
Okay, so for me, I picked a song from Toho 6, but I didn't pick what I was kind of like. What song do I actually think it might be my favorite in Toho 6? Because there's a lot of good ones, especially the boss themes. There's a lot of them in popular internet culture. But I was like, I'm on my playthroughs. I think the one I was super excited to get to every time was the Stage 3 boss, Shanghai Alice of Meiji. So this song is hard for me to kind of put into words why I really like this. It's got a good mix of like energy and very like pretty sounding to it. I think it kind of blends it really well. It makes the fight feel exciting, but very like almost choreographed in a way. Like everything is super organized like an orchestra or like a dance. And so moving around it feels so comfortable. Getting things right and moving around all the different shot types, a lot of which are like shards, feel really mesmerizing and very effective at helping me kind of want to move around. And I always found myself super excited to get there. Like the initial song coming into it's really good, and then getting into this song as well, it's just really pretty, and it's got a good sense of energy to it.
Yeah. When I think of Toho, I usually think of a more energetic song, but I do like that. It's a not as energetic as it probably could have been, but it still feels very serious at the same time. I really like that.
Yeah. Like, I think it doesn't feel like it's going super hard that, like, a typical boss theme can go for. Like, you look at Lunar Clock or UNON or like, any of the other boss fights in this game where it's like, this is the shit. Like, Toho 7's got it for its final boss, and, I love those songs. But this feels so unique to it that I'm like, it feels comfortable because it feels so energized but so smooth, and I think that really helps with the gameplay where you're really trying to dodge bullets, not just getting out of the way, but you're trying to do it in a way that you're setting yourself up for dodging the next round of bullets. So I think it's one of those things where the song and the gameplay go so well together.
Yeah, like it.
But that was my pick.
Before we continue, I need to go pee pee.
Okay, well, that's perfect because I'm ending this part of the recording. And next time, we'll be starting with day 15.
Yo, Poggers, Pog Champ, let's go.